Alright, John, we have this last question to do, and that's all that I'm going to cover with you today. And then you have another homework assignment, and I'm also going to go over which homework assignments I did get from you and which ones I still need from you. So let's just do this question first, and then I'll let you go. Alright, so find the remaining 5 trig function values. So this is the kind where it needs all 6, and you need to have all 6 trig functions in order to get the correct answer. So the first step that I do is go through and just write them all out, and then we'll fill them in as we go. So we know sine theta, cosine, tangent, and then we also need the reciprocal of sine is cosecant. You need to be careful the way that you're writing these. Make sure you're writing them in the right order so that the reciprocals are across from each other. That way when you go and you start flipping things over and finding reciprocals, they match with the one that's right across from it. Okay, so just be careful of that when you're writing this stuff out. Okay, so the question already told us that cotangent is equal to -6. So I'm just going to write that as -6/1. And theta is in quadrant 4, so all students take calculus. That gave us just another piece or a hint for our information. If we're in the 4th quadrant, that means that cosine and its reciprocal, secant, are both positive, but the rest of my values are all going to be negative. So these are all negative, and I can do that right now. Okay. Now, because it gave us cotangent is equal to -6, what I'm going to do is flip it over right now, and I'm going to say that tangent is -1/6. And the reason why I'm doing that is because then we can say, okay, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So now I know what 2 of my sides are. You could have done that over here with cotangent and said cotangent is adjacent over opposite, but it's just a little bit trickier. You can use SOHCAHTOA when you're thinking of sine, cosine, and tangent. So I would just, flip it over to tangent first before I started. So we know our opposite side is 6 and our opposite side is 1 and our adjacent side is 6. So even though we have that -1 there, remember that all that's telling us is which quadrant that's in. We're not going to use a -1 as a distance. So this is going to be my right triangle. And just pick any angle, that's going to be my theta right there. So that means that the opposite side is 1 and the adjacent side is 6. Let's go through our Pythagorean theorem, and figure out what the hypotenuse is, and then we can use that. So 1 squared plus 6 squared is equal to x squared. So 1 squared is 1, 6 squared is 36. So we know that x squared is going to be 37. And then x is going to be the square root of 37, which I don't think that we can simplify that any farther, because 4 isn't going to go into it. 9 won't go into it. I think that we're just going to leave that as radical 37. Okay, so the hypotenuse is radical 37. Now we can use that information to fill in the other stuff. So sine is SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite, which is 1 over hypotenuse, which is radical 37. And hopefully you can see that that's going to be a problem, but I'm just going to go back through and finish the rest of them while I'm doing this. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and that's going to be a positive value, yet still has the same problem. Cosecant, I just take sine and I'm going to flip it, so this is going to be a negative radical 37 over 1, but we really don't have to write that. And then secant is positive radical 37 over 6. So this time, secant, cosecant, and cotangent, they're all perfectly fine, but we do need to rearrange something over here. So what I need to do, I'm just going to come down here and extend the page just a little bit, get some more space. So sine is 1 over 37 right now, or negative 1 over 37, radical 37. I need to rationalize that, so I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 37. Radical 37 times radical 37 gives me 37 over negative 1 radical 37. So that is my sign. Negative radical 37 over 37. Hopefully you're being a little bit neater about this. I'm having a hard time because I'm on a computer. And then cosine is 6 over radical 37. So 6 divided by radical 37. I'm going to do the exact same thing and rationalize that. It's just kind of annoying. It's like one more thing that you have to do, but that's okay. So this is 6 radical 37 divided by radical, not radical 37, just 37. Now, if the 6 and the 37 simplified any further, you could do that at this point, but 6 and 37, they don't have a common factor, so this is just 6 radical 37 over 37. Okay. So that is that question. I'm going to turn the light back on. Okay, so if you have any questions about that kind of stuff, you can ask me, but this is what the homework assignment's going to be on. That's homework number something. 13, 12. This is number 82. Okay. So I did get a bunch of stuff from Abby, and I gave them to Miss Tompkins. So let me just go through what's in this folder right now. Okay. We have now gone through, in Chapter 10, notes on basic trig identities, and then I'm going to do the notes on the cofunctions with you tomorrow. Hopefully you can take the test either tomorrow night or the next day. So that's not that bad. That's that. Let me see what you gave to me. You gave me your log test. Can you see that? You got 17 out of 24, which is awesome. Let me see what 17 out of 24 is as a fraction, or as a decimal. I gotta use my phone because my computer's freaking out. That is about a 71, so that is awesome. Really, really proud of you. So I'm going to write on your blue sheet for Chapter 8, I'm going to write a 71, which is awesome. Cool. And then also, I had a sticky note. Where did the sticky note go? Bunch of stuff though. Okay. Let's see. You gave me a bunch of different homework assignments. You're still missing 64, 65, and 69. So that is that's in that homework section between 63 and 72. So your current grade that you have on your sheet is a 50, and that actually got bumped up to a 70, which is great. But if you do homework numbers 64, 65, and 69, that will be bumped up. Now, I think that a couple of those are the midterm review, so I talked to Miss Tompkins, and I'm going to get a copy of the midterm review for you because homework 64 and 65 have to do with that. I made you a copy of homework number 69, so I'm going to give this, I'm going to put it in your folder so Abby could grab that for you. So tomorrow I'm going to have all that stuff in there for you, 64, 65, and 69. If you do those three for me, that homework grade that was a 50 will be bumped from a 70 all the way up to 100. So that would be awesome. Now, what else do I have for you? I found the practice test for Chapter 8, which was on logs. This is homework number 73. So that's one of the ones that you're still missing. You are also missing 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 82. And if you missed that, just rewind the video back and then maybe write it down so that you know which ones. Right now, that homework grade on your blue sheet from homework number 73 to 82, that is currently a 20. So if you get me those homework assignments, that would be awesome, and it'll bump up your grade even farther. You might have done some of them with me, but for some reason they weren't in the packet that you and Abby handed in to me. So again, I need 73, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 82. If you don't have any of these, or like you need a worksheet or something, just let me know and I'll find that worksheet for you, okay? So I just need you to communicate with me to know what you need, and I'll just rummage through Miss Tompkins' stuff and find it. I also have more stuff for you. I have portfolio assignments for you that you need to complete, because the class right now, tomorrow, is going to hand in portfolio number 5. I'm going to go through your folder tomorrow to figure out exactly which portfolios you have completed already and which ones you still need to do. So I'll do that for you tomorrow, and I have a lot of stuff that Abby can pick up. So I'll text Abby and tell her to please grab that stuff for you tomorrow. Also, the class has a bunch of end of the year review packets that they're working on. So some of those are going to be in the stuff that I will give Abby as well. I don't know if this is possible or not, but depending on how you feel, Miss Tompkins and Miss Arnold run 3 review classes every single week. So if you felt well enough to go to school maybe for an hour and like sit in a review class, that might really actually help. Thursday mornings they do it from 7:40 to 8:30. I can't even make it there that early. I totally understand that you wouldn't be able to. After school, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll figure out exactly what it is for you. But they have review classes going on after school. So if you could ever make it to school for one of those classes, that would be awesome, and we could push off. Well, it starts at like 3:15, so you could even work with me and then go right to school. Let me know if you're interested in doing that, okay? And I will get all this stuff to you, and I'll post these videos to YouTube, and hopefully you're feeling better tomorrow. I hope you feel better. I think I told you already that I'm going to be in Ohio Thursday and Friday. I'm going to try really hard to Skype with you from there, or maybe just make you videos, okay? So I don't want to lose any time just because I'm going to be in Ohio. So we will figure it out, and you have a great rest of the day.